Assassin's Creed Shadows launches today, and so far we've seen critics just shower it with praise. You can see over on Metacritic, 81 out of 75 critical reviews for it. We don't have an audience score as of yet, and to me, that's the most important metric. What do audiences think about this game? Because this is something that Ubisoft needs to be just an out of the park success for them. They've been struggling financially for the last year or so. You can even see their stock value for the last year has steadily declined over time in light of many of their financial failures with their games. And this is a game that they need to have succeed for them in order to stave off financial ruin. And I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but one thing that should be concerning for fans of Ubisoft is that usually you would see something like this in the lead up to the release here. Just jump back a month. Their value has gone up a little bit in the lead up to the release of this. That's normal. Investors are starting to try to get in on this before it really starts making money. They know the game's coming out, so they're trying to invest in it before the game actually launches. But instead, we're seeing them kind of still take a wait and see approach to everything, which I'm not a financial expert or anything like that, but this doesn't look like a good sign, at least from my perspective. I could be wrong on this one though. And one thing that's surrounding this game on social media is just these clips that have been circulating around. Here's this one right here, because like I was saying, audiences are going to make or break this game. And this is the kind of stuff that's being shared around.
Resentment can grow quietly without much warning after a storm. Mushrooms can too. Shiitake?
Mushrooms. The smell of dirt.
I saw that clip and I was saying, is it a non-English speaker reading their lines phonetically? Like, did they have a Japanese dub of this game? And then they're like, hey, can you also read this line too? And then that's what you got with it. It just feels so bad and awkward, but that's not even the worst about it either. You also have clips like this. Here is the hardest difficulty in Assassin's Creed Shadows, a game from Ubisoft, a company renowned for stealth franchises like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. So let's take a look at what they're saying here. Oh no, they got it. Oh no, never mind. And if you remember when Star Wars Outlaws came out, we were getting similar clips out of that where you just have like broken mechanics and other bugs like this. Now, for this game, I couldn't imagine what would happen if they released it in its scheduled time, because they pushed back the release of it because they said that they wanted to get rid of a lot of bugs and polish up the game a little bit. And it seems like it still had work to do, but they needed to get it out now because they need to have this game launched before the end of this fiscal quarter. And looks like there's still a lot of work to be done with that, but I'm sure much of this stuff will be patched out at a later time, but still that's not really a good start for it. But that's not even some of the most controversial stuff about this game. Just look at this post that I saw. Hold up. I just thought it was kind of funny. So Assassin's Creed 2007, 2025. Obviously, this is cherry picked from the current game. I believe this was the trailer for the first game when it came out, but still, I mean, it is a stark difference between the games, and I think a lot of this comes down to the way the series has sort of evolved, where less just about straightforward assassin missions and more like kind of an RPG elements to it. And that's where you get like romance options and other things like that. But still, it doesn't look like it fits in an Assassin's Creed game. And it's just kind of funny seeing this comparison between the two different games. And that's why a lot of people were saying like this is probably like one of the gayest Assassin's Creed games out there, and not saying it gay as in it's lame or anything like that, but because like there's actually a lot of gay characters within it, or at least there's lots of same-sex romance options. What's it? Oh yeah, this kind of goes back to the dialogue. when I say their entire romance line is the most poorly written, ignorant, high school Twilight fan fiction, I really did mean it. Assassin's Creed is now written by loser women and feminine men who have never interacted with another human, let alone have any grasp of feudal Japan. The English voice acting just takes a dump on your chest too.
Watch where you point that thing.
What's wrong, Igahime? Does my teppo make you nervous?
You can come back to the RPG elements with the dialogue options.
No, I like dangerous weapons.
What about dangerous women?
Even better.
We'll see.
I don't know if they meant for this dialogue to be so funny, but it really is just hilarious to me. But what really takes the cake is this clip right here that I'm sure many have seen at this point. Here, I'll make it bigger so you can get a better look at it. This almost comes across as a parody. When I first saw this, I thought it was something AI generated to look like the game, but no, this is 100% real. And a lot of people tried to defend Yasuke as one of the playable characters in this, saying he's a historical figure and other things like that. Now, just imagine you're Yasuke. You're a slave in feudal Japan, and as kind of like a joke, they would let you wear like armor for certain situations or whatever. Say like, oh, look, he's a samurai and other things like that. And then fast forward several hundred years and people think that you actually were a samurai warrior and apparently a gay one at that.
I think I've ever seen you quite so.
But yeah, just look at this clip right here.
I hope you aren't easily chilled.
Oh, and apparently this person also identifies as they, them, because, you know, people trying to push that thing, whole pronoun stuff is trying to say like, oh no, this is normal. And we have examples in history. Well, they really don't. It's usually just examples of people cross-dressing because it's somehow advantageous for them at the time. I guess some things haven't changed. So they're trying to make it seem like and normalize the whole idea that like, no, like they, thems and stuff existed even in throughout history. And that's kind of why I think this is included in this game right here.
Do you think someone might see us?
Maybe.
Do you care?
Does this feel like it's an Assassin's Creed game first and foremost? To me, I don't think this really belongs in an Assassin's Creed game. Even if it was a female character, I don't care. It just, I don't know. I just don't like these type of romance options and other RPG elements within an Assassin's Creed game. But maybe that's just me. I could be in a minority in this one. To me, I think the Assassin's Creed games were better when they're more streamlined as opposed to what they've kind of become in the last several installments, but those games sell well, so maybe I'm just in a minority on that one.
Not at all.
I love that look there. Yeah, when I first saw that image of the look, I thought it was just kind of a joke, something AI generated, but no, this was actually part of the game. I don't know why they decided to include that here. Just go back. Yeah, was the fourth wall break really necessary for it? This is just so awkward. And when I say it, because I've criticized like woke elements within video games in the past, and I don't say it because I just don't think those things could be in games whatsoever. I say it because generally speaking, when you have stuff like that in games, that means it's a red flag that the company itself that's pushing that sort of stuff in their games is also pushing that sort of thing behind the scenes. And when it comes to the behind the scenes elements of this game, Ubisoft has admitted that they're trying to push DEI at their company. And then they've also said that half the team working in this game has never worked on a game of this scale before, because they just brought in a bunch of DEI hires to work on this game. And when you do that sort of thing, it usually means other elements are going to suffer. That's why you get cringy dialogue, terrible voice acting. It's just a lot of bugs and other, where is that? Yeah, just a lot of bugs and other things like that within the game. And to me, that's the biggest problem with all this stuff with leaning into politics, is that you're not hiring the best people for the job. You're hiring the best people who check the right boxes. And if they're not necessarily the best people for the job, then you are going to have other problems within the game. And it's stuff that a lot of gamers actually care about. So that's why it's not looking good for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I'm not going to say the game is a flop. We don't know. Looking over at Steam, I don't think those numbers are necessarily anything like fantastic, or I mean, they're not terrible, and the game just came out. So I'll give it the weekend to see how it actually reaches after the weekend. Now, clearly this is being released on multiple platforms, so the Steam numbers aren't necessarily the only player count, but I think it is a pretty good metric to go by. Like, if this can't even break 100,000 on Steam, then I think it's safe to assume that it's probably not selling well on other platforms either. And since this is a game that, like I said, not only does Ubisoft need to just knock it out of the park, I mean, according to their own admission, they need to sell at least 10 million copies in order to just break even on this game. This is something that one of the executives at Ubisoft said back in November. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if it looks like they actually sell 10 million copies, or if the game falls short of that, which means it will be a financial failure for the studio. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you think a lot of these gay elements in the game really matters, or do you think it does cheapen it? Do you agree with me on why DEI could potentially ruin games, as in it's not hiring the best people for the job? Or do you think I'm just kind of overblowing it? I'm curious what other people have to say about this. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.